Commissioner Dodge, Commissioner Rice.
Here.
Commissioner Lieberman.
Here. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to go straight to our county engineer, Paul.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Administrator, ladies and gentlemen. We have 3 items for consideration today. The first is Resolution 23-890 to authorize an agreement with Eagle Bridge Company for the Huffman Road Bridge Replacement Project in Jefferson Township at their lowest and best bid of $1,098,300 through May 31st of 2024. 891 is to amend the agreement with Burgess & Nyepel, Inc. for the 2022 General Engineering Services contract by adding $100,000 to the original amount for a revised total of $1 million. And 892 is to approve the purchase and acquisition of utility and temporary construction easements and authorize appropriations for the acquisition of said easements necessary for the Wenger Road Bridge Reconstruction Project in the City of Clayton and to record the same.
I move for approval.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. County Sheriff, Michael.
Thank you, Commissioners. Under the County Sheriff, we have Resolution 893, authorizing a use or license agreement with Promedium LLC for an online weapons permit application through January 31st, 2024, with automatic successive 1-year renewals.
I move for approval.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Juvenile Court.
Under Juvenile Court, we have Resolution 894, accept a continuation 4E sub-grant agreement with the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services for the reimbursement of administrative training and foster care maintenance costs for out-of-home placements through June 30th, 2025. We also have Resolution 895, authorizing a memorandum of understanding with Tara Twitty, DBA Community Alternative Supportive Services Outreach to provide skills streaming and art services for youth in an amount not to exceed $24,000 through June 30th, 2024. We also have 5 authorization of agreements for healthcare services for youth and or families of youth committed to the Center for Adolescent Services, CAS, through June 30th, 2024. Resolution 896, ABC Therapies, Inc., in the amount not to exceed $200,000. Resolution 897, Michelle Schultz, University Psychological Services Association, in an amount not to exceed $22,380. Resolution 898, South Community, Inc., in an amount not to exceed $222,000. Resolution 899, Dr. Dennis Bingham, in an amount not to exceed $30,000. Resolution 900, Johnny Williams Myers III, Physician Assistant Certified, in an amount not to exceed $14,400. We also have 5 authorization agreements through June 30th, 2024. Resolution 901, Daybreak, to provide emergency foster care services at a per diem rate of up to $100 per day in an amount not to exceed $40,000. Resolution 902, National Youth Advocate Program, Inc., for sex offender treatment and assessment services in an amount not to exceed $63,000. Resolution 903, Dr. Julie Miller of the Child Psychiatric Services, LLC, to provide neurological assessments for youth in an amount not to exceed $18,000. Resolution 904, Wright State University for quality assurance services for the court's Ohio Department of Youth Services reclaim funded programs in an amount not to exceed $28,350. And Resolution 905, Lighthouse Youth Services, Inc., to provide sex offender treatment services for adjudicated and or diverted youth in an amount not to exceed $241,000.
I move to approve.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Auditor's Office.
Thank you, Commissioners. Under the Auditor's Office, we have Resolution 906, authorizing a purchase from International Business Machines Corporation for WMware software annual renewal services in an amount not to exceed $3,968.80 through August 31st, 2024.
I move for approval.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Monday Community Correctional Institution.
Under Monday Community Correctional Institution, we have Resolution 907, submit a grant application to the Ohio Board of Regents through the Miami Valley Career Technology Center for funds made available under the Aspire Education Program in an amount not to exceed $35,000.
I move for approval.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And is that program, the GED program?
It's a reading and math program.
Okay.
Not necessarily GED,
GED,
but you can get there. But the design is to get people remediated for math and reading and get them ready for work.
Good, okay. And Michael?
Thank you, Commissioners. Under the County Administrator, under the Clerk's Office, we have approved the minutes of the meetings on June 27th, 2023. Resolution 908, approval of bills. Resolution 909, approval of travel and expenses. Resolution 910, approval of personnel actions. All three lists are available in the Clerk's Office.
I move for approval.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Administrative Services, Tyler.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We have several resolutions today, including one late item. The first resolution is 911. This authorizes a facility software maintenance agreement through a Sourcewell cooperative contract with Brightly Solutions Incorporated for the Facilities Management Department in an amount not to exceed $47,751.11 through July 31st of 2024. This is for our work order system. Resolution 912 authorizes a price agreement with Ferguson Enterprises doing business as Ferguson Waterworks for pipe repair clamps for the Environmental Services Department through July 31st of 2024 with options to extend. Resolution 913 authorizes a change order to the agreement with Kettering Adventist Health doing business as Kettering Health for biometric screenings by adding $6,000 to the original amount for a revised total of $114,000. Resolution 914 authorizes the sale of furniture to the Village of New Lebanon in lieu of the June rent payment for the leasing of space located at 195 South Clayton Road in the amount of $11,796.75. And this was for the vacated court building in New Lebanon. Resolution 915 authorizes the purchase through a state term contract from Deere and Company of 4 2023 John Deere TE Gators for the Environmental Services Department in an amount not to exceed $63,596.28. The following four resolutions authorize agreements. The first is 916 with HDR Engineering Incorporated for consultant services for bid package assembly services for the solid waste chute lining project for the Environmental Services Department at a cost not to exceed $14,000 through December 31st of 2024. Resolution 917 is with David J. Spradlin to provide services as the license plate reader database coordinator for the Regional License Plate Reader Program for Ohio Homeland Security Region 3 in an amount not to exceed $60,000 through March 15th of 2024. Resolution 918 solicits bids for the street opening repairs price agreement for the Environmental Services Department. And the last resolution on the normal agenda is 919, and this requests proposals for lab furnishings for the Environmental Services Department. The late item is 934, and this authorizes a change order to the agreement with Triton Construction Incorporated for the Madison Lakes renovation project by extending the date through October 27th of 2023.
I move to approve. Aye. Sound like through October.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. For Environmental Services, we have two resolutions today. First is Resolution 920, authorizing agreement with Brown and Caldwell and the City of Dayton for the preparation of detailed construction plans and supplemental specifications for the joint hydraulic model update and master plan development at a cost not to exceed $795,413.52 through December 31st, 2025. In Resolution 921, accept the subdivider's contract from Clark Ventures LLC for the Copper Mill Section 1 development.
I move to approve. Aye.
Thank you, Commissioner. We have Resolution 922, United Way of the Greater Dayton Area for the Children's Defense Fund Freedom Schools Program in an amount not to exceed $50,000. And then 923 with the Montgomery County Board of Developmental Disability Services for early intervention services in an amount not to exceed $209,033.
I move to approve.
Aye.
Jerry, on the freedom schools, that amount is for our kids, right? The freedom schools?
This particular amount is for books. So the Human Services Planning and Development Department also contributes to Freedom Schools, and so we support purchase of the books for the Freedom Schools for our participants as well. Mhm. Yeah.
Thank you, Commissioner. Under Business Services, under Community Economic Development, first one is 0924, authorizes an agreement with XPEX, Building Safety for Commercial and Residential Plan Review Consulting Services through June 30th, 2024, with option to extend. 0925, publish a notice of public hearing to share the draft of the Montgomery County Fiscal Year 2023 Action Plan to discuss performance of previously funded CDBG home and ESG projects, take public comments, and submit the plan to HUD at the end of the comment period. The next two are delegation activities agreements. Next three are Community Health Center, 0926, Community Health Centers of Greater Dayton for costs related to construction of new health center in West Carrollton, an amount not to exceed $250,000 through June 1st, 2025. 0927, Vandalia Townhomes for the rehabilitation of housing units, City of Vandalia, an amount not to exceed $325,000 of home investment partnership funds through December 31st, 2024. 0928, Rebuilding Together Dayton for owner-occupied air quality improvements, an amount not to exceed $500,000 through June 1st, 2025. The next two are edge agreements. 0925, Harrison Township for the Bad Habit Fabrication Project, an amount not to exceed $18,129 or 19% of the total project cost, whichever is less. 0930, Harrison Township for the Hinkle Fine Foods Project, amount not to exceed $21,000 or 17% of the total project cost, whichever is less. And one more, 0931, City of Huber Heights for the PVS Plastics Technology Corporation Project, an amount not to exceed $275,000 or 3% of the total project cost, whichever is less.
Well, I definitely move to approve. Aye.
Great Edge program, but one that we really like, and we should put together, and we have to let our executive director from the building together. Amy Udachi, why don't you come up and tell us a little bit about what you guys are up to? First, just for all the fans that watch us on TV, talk about what Rebuilding Together does, and then just what's the latest.
What's the latest? Well, thank you for having me here today. I appreciate your ongoing support. I'm Amy Rodacci, the President and CEO of Rebuilding Together Dayton. We have been active in our community since 1996. We started out as a one-day-a-year program called Christmas in April, where the last Saturday in April we would go and do work on houses with volunteers. That morphed into year-round countywide work because the need was very strong, and our board knew that the work needed to be done. So I celebrated my 25th anniversary last week with as being paid staff with the organization. We are here today because of the CDBG COVID relief funding that has been awarded. This is significant to the seniors that we serve, who are an at-risk population of a lot of respiratory issues. One of the seniors we recently assisted with this funding had been waiting for 5 years because there had been no other source of funding to help her. So please know that this will be leveraged with additional human services levy funding that we receive from the county, along with corporate, individual, and financial foundation support that we get. Our community has been incredibly cognizant of the need and our ability to meet that need as best we can with volunteers and in-kind labor and materials. So we're a proud member of the Miami Valley nonprofit collaborative that includes Habitat, County Corp, CAP, Miami Valley Housing Opportunities, and Greater Dayton Premier Management. And the Housing Collaborative funded a study that helps make us make informed decisions about housing. And we work very closely together so that we're not duplicating efforts. We partner on a lot of projects, so know that your housing teams are in constant communication with each other and doing the best we can with the funding that we get.
Well, and we always, our Rotary Club, Paula and I, and you're in that Rotary Club too, we spent,
National Rebuilding Day.
yeah, that was the end of April, right? And we were in the Edgemont
Yes, we're
with that little pocket park.
Right, in Miami Chapel, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, and you've really concentrated on different neighborhoods throughout, so it really adds up. It's not just a flash once in and once out. It really adds up over time. And then, so thank you. I've watched it over the years. Not the 25. I can't say I've been around for 25, but really makes an impact, and volunteers are so much a part of the equation, which helps all of us feel, like we can do our part.
Well, we greatly appreciate your support.
Absolutely.
Matt's team always makes sure that you have our trailers.
Oh, Community Pride Trailer is a
Yes,
godsend.
Community Pride
We
Trailer.
love the Community Pride Trailer. It's really integral to the success of Rebuilding Day, having everything right there in one spot, and it's great.
Yeah.
Matt, why don't you talk about what that is? I love putting him on the spot.
So, yeah, we have a trailer that supplies the equipment that, the public can use. Everything's free except the cost to dispose of whatever waste that they use. So we use it for neighborhood cleanups along rivers, wherever. It's there to use, and you can go through our solid waste or education outreach program to set that up.
Huge support with gloves and trash bags and wheelbarrows and rakes and shovels and everything.
So talk about the equipment
Yeah, we have, like you said, the garbage bags, PPE equipment, things to help pick up the trash, and
Rakes,
yeah,
all
rakes.
kinds of things.
Yeah.
Gardening.
Lawnmowers.
Okay.
Not major things.
Lawnmowers.
You got lawnmowers.
Right.
Yeah. And I think there's probably not a chainsaw, but a trimmer.
Loppers.
Yeah.
And lots of grabbers.
Yeah.
I think this year our total for Rebuilding Day trash retrieval was about 20 tons in one day. So that was significant to the neighborhoods we serve.
Awesome work.
We're really thankful that we have your incredible
Yes.
mission. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Under the county commissioner portion, 0932, and that is to reappoint Mary Frick to serve on the Water Services Appeals Board for a three-year term ending August 31st of 2026. And to reappoint 933 is to reappoint Greg West to serve on Alcohol, Drug, Addiction, and Mental Health Services Board for a four-year term ending June 30th, 2026.
I move to approve.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
And we do have citizens that would like to come up and speak. The bishop, to come up.
Good afternoon to our county commissioner, and to all our distinguished county officials. My name is Archbishop John Jennings, and this is my darling wife, Overseer Tina Jennings. And we are the pastors of CAMI Dayton, which is an acronym for Kingdom Authority Ministries International, located here in Dayton, Ohio. We are a Church Without Walls ministry. And this year, we're hosting 3 community events. The first one was in May, in which our wonderful Commissioner Debbie Lieberman came. We had a Safe Summer Kickoff the last Saturday in May at Residence Park. And this Saturday, we're having our annual youth explosion, and I made copies if you would like a copy. Our youth explosion is, we renamed it and rebranded after our granddaughter, who we lost tragically 2 years ago to gun violence. And so this is named after her, and we're going to be at McIntosh Park, and it's just a great and fabulous community day. We will have, we're going to feed everyone that comes on the park, and we're going to have gospel music and Christian entertainment by any youth. So if you know any youth with a gospel talent, they're welcome to come and perform. And also we're going to have information tables by government agencies, nonprofits, churches, ministries, and grassroots organizations. And also we have elected officials that's going to come and say hello to the crowd. And it's just again, a great community day in Montgomery County. And then finally, on Saturday, August 26th, we're going to have a back to school rally. And that would be at Residence Park, and we're raising money now to purchase book bags, and we want to give them away free to all our students in Montgomery County. And we just want to thank the county commissioners for allowing us this opportunity to come and make this presentation, and hopefully we can continue to have your support. And we're trying to celebrate our youth on the front end before they're tempted with the temptations of youth. And so we just thank you for this opportunity. Are there any questions? I'll be glad to answer.
I don't have any questions, but I just applaud all your efforts, because we all know if just one person shows an interest in a young person, it can make all the difference as if someone else believes in them and shows them the way. So thank you for what you're doing, and great for our youth to have positive experiences to build upon that.
Thank you, Bob. If you were listening to our juvenile court section, it's heartbreaking.
Well, thank you, Michael. It's heartbreaking to see all the different contracts that we have to have for mental health and abuse and sexual abuse. And I think what I observed when you had the first event was kids just being able to be kids, being joyful, having fun. So I do appreciate the work that you guys are doing. I would be there Saturday if it wasn't for my mother's 85th birthday. You know that. But thanks for what you're doing, and I will tell her that. You know, what you're doing in the community is important. You know, it's an interesting concept, church without walls. But you're out there in the community. I know you are. I see you at different events. And thanks for the positive impact that you're having on the community. Really appreciate it.
And I just want to extend an invitation to the other county elected officials and appointed officials that they're welcome to come and meet the constituency and say hello to the crowd, not necessarily the three county commissioners, but any agency that's part of Montgomery County. You're welcome to come and say hello and participate in the fun and activities. So we thank you all.
So much. Thanks for
Thank
being here, and
It's
hope
an honor.
Saturday's a great day, and then we'll look forward to the back-to-school event right
Yes,
around the
thank
corner.
Thank you.
And where's that event going to be? I know this
Residence Park.
one's- Residence, back at Residence, okay. So Saturday's at McIntosh. Yeah,
Yes.
we'll take a copy of both of those and try to get it out to as many people as we can. Thank you. All right, Mr. Colbert, do you have anything to say?
Thank you, Commissioners. I do have a few words.
Okay.
I'm
You always do.
I'm excited to share that we are making great progress on the largest project that we have ever done in environmental services, Matt and his team, which is the SMART project. This is a $65 million project, and it is critical to protecting our infrastructure, our sewer infrastructure. And it is absolutely huge. The ability to move pretreatment sewer pretreatment into West Carrollton, into our plant, and to produce a better water product for our environment. So Matt and the water sewer team and the engineering team, hats off to you. This also includes a large pumping station at Dryden Road in Moraine. This is a new pumping station, as well as tremendous updates to our wastewater reclamation facility in West Carrollton. We expect to complete this project next year. And but if you want to, you can go out and actually view it. We have a video out on our Facebook page, on Montgomery County's Facebook page, and it's pretty impressive.
It's
You
very
can see
impressive.
drone overhead video. So, Matt, your leadership on this project has been fantastic. You and the team, and make sure you thank Alman Schutte for me. The other
Yes,
Matt,
yeah.
make sure you thank the other Matt for us too.
Yeah, I mean, when we first talked about doing the work that's being done now, it was a lot more money. And you came in and really looked at it, and your team, and while it's a huge amount of money, it could have been a lot more. So thank you so much. And it's quality work, and yeah, I suggest people should look at the Facebook, because it's.
And Commissioners, the amount of vendors, we kept it local, so Alman Schutte's local, Miamisburg, partnership with Shook.
Yep.
It's local, all the local vendors and contractors and subcontractors that are going to work on it. So it's just a great Montgomery County project. I do have one other thing, Commissioners, I wanted to shout out to our JFS team. We had the highest SNAP timeliness rate for metro counties in June. And it's a big deal because individuals that are dependent on food, they need to get that food benefit in a timely manner. And for our county to lead that, to get services to people that need it the most, our seniors, people that are food dependent, they have large households. There's this myth out there that people that are on food stamps aren't working. The vast majority of them are working. And but there is a great deal of food insecurity across the state. So when we get these services out, it helps families and children. So thank you, Michelle Niedermeyer, our JFS director, and the entire team, Deb Hall, Patrick. Please give our shout out to the whole team. Thank
Great
you,
work.
Jerry.
Great work. Thanks, Jerry. Well, on Sunday, Michael and the commissioners and Paul, we all got to go to the fair. And we got to cut the ribbon for the 171st County Fair, Montgomery County Fair. And, it really was hard to believe. It was in our comments, and we were talking about 5 years we've been out there already. That's hard to believe, but the new fairgrounds is really beautiful. I remember when we first started talking about it moving, and it was kind of sentimental and kind of sad, and I know people had mixed feelings, but it is so nice now. It's a fair in the country. We went from a fair in the city to a fair in the country, but the kids love it. They're really able to. The 4-H kids are able to camp there, and just have a great time. Walked around, looked at all the animals that are there. More came in actually later on that day, on Sunday. But the big, I don't think some of the bigger ones were there yet. But yeah,
A camel.
the camel. Well, that wasn't a 4-H thing, but yeah, the camels there and donkeys and yeah. But yeah, there's just something for everybody there. Actually, I mean, the rides are fine. And it actually looked really good, the way they set up the rides and set up the, last night was the demolition derby. Anybody go?
Carrie, did you go? Okay.
It's also Friday night too, yeah.
Okay. I know.
Yeah, it's
My
always-
team loves that part.
It's one of my highlights, the demolition derby. So our fairgrounds, for those that don't know, is in Jefferson Township. It's at Art Fisher Park. And it's just a really.
Infirmary Road.
On
off of
Infirmary
35.
Road, yep, and it just keeps getting better every year. We were also this year had some tributes to some longtime fair board members and just people that really gave to the fair and 4-H. One was to the late Ricky Eby for his many years of 4-H leadership, and then to Miss Betty Crow, her husband. Well, Crow name with Montgomery County Fair is like one of the revered names, and they have a beautiful tribute now to Mrs. Crow, but they also gave
Proclamation.
tribute. Well, yeah, the state gave, did they call this proclamation?
They
Yeah,
did.
proclamation to Mr. Harold Crow. Somebody in the crowd said he'd been going to the fair for 92 years. I don't know if that's true or not.
That's how old he is.
But he is 92, so maybe, I don't know. But it was just nice, because he, 10, 15 years ago, he was really one of the voices of the fair board, and it was good to see him still out there at the fair. So we do have to thank our fair board, though, who always make it a lot of fun, a lot of dedicated volunteers who help. I'm looking over here at the deputy, the sheriff's office. I mean, they come out in full force, and they always have to the fair, and it's fun to see. They bring out all the fun vehicles they have and kind of show those off, but they also, I think, have a great impact on kids as far as safety and just learning things. So we want to thank the Sheriff's Department. Thank you that you're representing them today. And yeah, it takes a lot of planning. They'll start planning for next year's fair right away. But it's fun to go through, we used to call it the Coliseum, but through the barns that have all the kids' projects, all the 4-H projects, and there were so many this year. But then you also you can go around and see the vendors that are doing, gutter guard and other things. But then they also have all of the entries of pies and cakes and sewing and growing big pumpkins and all kinds of, really cool things that get their awards. But I was able this year, again, to do the pie contest and cookie contest. And
What flavor one?
it was, they were all, so what happens is every year the president picks the flavor. And it was peanut butter pie. And I was like, not one of my favorites, but they were all delicious. But the winner, this is crazy, was Janet Havermill. And if anybody knows the Havermill family, they're one of those fair families. And Janet probably has won the pie contest 30 times. I'd bet. I know since I've been going for many years, she's won at least half the times. And then so they let the kids enter the cookies. So they were peanut butter cookies. And the girl that won this year won last year too. So it's kind of nice. She's a little baker. So that's always fun. But we're happy that we can continue to support the fair. There's so much for everyone to see and do, and it does go through Saturday. So there's plenty of time to get out and see all the fun. There's a circus there called Cincinnati Circus, and you can go on their website and get the full schedule. But yeah, fun stuff.
And Commissioners, every year, the three of you always pick off a project to help keep the fair growing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's actually, you see it just kind of year after year, whether it's the
Adding
parking
up.
lot or one of the barns or, some of the water, sewer, the electrical work. I think each year we just make it better and better.
It looks
And you're starting to hear it, the citizens, I was walking around just talking to people, and they were just saying, wow, we didn't think when it moved from downtown to, now people are starting to get used to it being out there in Jefferson Township, and it's making it, I think it's making it really nice. The space, the walkways, it's really.
The parking's
The parking is
good.
top notch.
First
so.
year it was difficult, but it's so nice now.
And
Yeah.
really needed the extra space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
And they're just going to keep growing. In fact, a couple of board members like, we need one more barn here. I said, well, get raising some money then. Don't look at us, as Michael says no. No, it was great.
Okay, well, you've left me hardly
I'm
anything
sorry.
to talk about.
I didn't know you were talking about the fair too.
So, I'll make it very short in that the 4-H part of it is quite impressive because they did give the award to the gentleman who had passed, who had had that. That was wonderful. It's been around, 4-H, for more than 100 years. And what is really so great about that, it mirrors a lot of the programs that we support, Youth Works and our College to Work internships. But this is more, not exclusively, but for the rural community, for those youth to learn responsibilities and how to, stick with projects. But I also learned that it's far more than just livestock and raising chickens and various things. So they have this handbook. I haven't seen it, but they have like over 700 topics of projects that individuals can do. So just a great, it is so great. And I saw Jenny Michael's daughter, it was on the front page of the local,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
getting with, I think she was washing her goats or something.
Yep.
But it's a great opportunity for kids to take responsibility. So just love that. It's a
is.
great,
It's also really great to see all the generational families that are always part of 4-H at the fair, like the Michaels. Her grandfather was fair board director forever. Remember?
she told me she was the queen of her, she wasn't from Montgomery County. I don't know which county she
Jenny?
was. Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
And she was fair queen. So
I
we
believe
met
it.
the royal
I believe
couples
it.
and all of that, you know. And anyways, great time.
It is. It always is.
Our county recorder, Stacy, was in 4-H.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was going to mention, because you said it's mostly rural, but we do have in Montgomery County, there's one in Vandalia. We've got to get out of
I
here.
didn't say it was
No,
exclusively
I
rural.
know, you said most, I know, I just want to point out that Allwood has one. Yeah. And Adventure Central has one. And somewhere in Trotwood, I can't remember where it is. But, you know, there's so many, I don't know how many groups there are, over 40.
Well, Jenny said she's an advisor for
Yeah,
like
there's
25 kids.
There's a lot of
Interesting.
different groups. And the handbook that you referred to, so I put 2 boys through 4-H, one my son and my son's best friend, and that handbook is fascinating, all the different
I'll have to-
projects. Like if you don't,
have to
like
check
if
it
you
out.
are an inner city kid and you don't want to do, well, we did chickens, goats, ducks, and rabbits, you can, you know, do sewing, or it's just amazing. So it is a good program. I encourage everybody to at least give it a shot. You know, it's one of those things where they may not love it, but it's something to do.
That was a great time. Still out there. Check it out. Have a great week.
Yep. I believe that's it for us.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.